Hey, how you doing? You okay? You okay? You alright? Listen, exciting news. We're gonna go travelling. Yeah, we're gonna go to Paris. Listen. You know I'm always talking to you about travelling, yeah? Well, it's not just because I want to see different places. I have discovered a treasure map that goes all over the world. Yep. And it starts in Paris. So, listen, I'm being serious. This is the coolest thing ever, and I want you to come with me. I promise. I'm telling you the truth. Okay. You interested? Of course you are. So this is what we have to do first. We are about an hour and a half away from London, so we're going to get the train to London, okay? And then, listen. Then we're going to go to Paris by train, okay? Under the channel, yeah. I'm going to have a look at how long that takes, okay? Paris, London to Paris. London to Paris by train, and that takes time. 3 hours and 5 minutes. I thought it was 2 hours and 16 minutes. The Eurostar can take up to 2 hours and 37 minutes from London to Paris. Anyway, there are between 2 and 3 hours. Between 2 hours and 16 minutes and 3 hours. Which is pretty cool because I'm going to bring my laptop and we can watch a film on the train. Okay? It's going to be cool. Trust me, it's going to be really cool. Just trust me. This is going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, I'm just going to get a map of Paris up. You heard about the catacombs. That's right, tunnels under Paris. Catacombs, Paris. So, basically, what they did was they would bury people down there. Well, there were remains of 6 million people down there. Okay, and there's loads of tunnels under Paris of these. They made a movie about it, a horror film. I can't remember what it's called, but we're not going there because of that. Because that was not, well, it wasn't real. It's all right. Shh. That wasn't real. Okay. Everything down there is dead. Apart from, like, I don't know, dangerous people that are just wandering around. But we're going to have torches. So it's going to be fine. It's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry, you little head. Shh. Don't worry, little head. Don't worry, little head. It's fine. It's going to be really cool. So the first piece of treasure is a necklace. Yeah, it's really old and it's worth a lot of money. So basically what happened was this guy, he went around robbing the kings and queens of Europe, like, I don't know, 500 years ago. And they tracked him all over Europe, and he hid a lot of the treasure in different places. But eventually he had to leave Europe, and they still sent people to try and find him. So he hid the treasure all over the world, in North America, South America, and all over Asia, the Middle East, everywhere, even Australia. He went to Australia 500 years ago, and he hid a ring there. In a cave. We're going to go there as well. We're going to go to all these places. Trust me. Listen. Trust me. I'm going to pay for it. Okay. Right, so we need to have a look at some maps and stuff because we need to work out how to get this necklace. Okay. An interesting piece of information, actually. The earliest burial grounds on the outskirts of the Roman era Left Bank City, and that's actually where we need to go. Of course, that's going to be like in the middle now because of how much it's grown. So. Paris, Left Bank City. How do I know about this? I'll tell you, but you can't tell anyone. Promise. There's a guy told me about it in the pub, and he sold me a treasure map. Yes, it's legitimate. I know what you're thinking. Okay? But yes, he was drunk, so was I. But it doesn't matter. Listen. I know what you're thinking. He's just taken my money and sold me some beans, some magic beans. I wish. No, it's real. I don't know why it's real, because I've already found one of the places in England. Yeah. Right, now you're listening, haven't you? That's how I'm funding this. I've already found and sold a bracelet worth 2 million. I got 1.5 million for it. Because the guy who bought it needs to make some money as well. So I've got 1.5 million in the bank. Now you're listening, aren't you? Thank you. Okay. What is the Left Bank of Paris known for? The Bank of Paris is 6 arrondissements. It's known for jazz, the Latin Quarter, and a long history of a long and historic string of writers, artists and philosophers. In fact, it's where they say that Paris learned to think, and that's where he's hidden the necklace 500 years ago, which is crazy if you think about it. Okay. It's the southern bit. Okay. See, that's Paris, yeah? It's the southern bit, the left bank. So I'm assuming it's by the river somewhere. Oh no, I remember, hang on. Let me have a look. Yes, hang on a second. I think it's in a monument. Let me just check what it's called. Pantheon. The Pantheon. That's what it is. Right, we're going to go to the Pantheon. That's what it is. Yes. Okay. Right, it's like a building. The Pantheon is a monument in a 5th arrondissement of Paris, France. It stands in the Latin Quarter, atop of the Montagne Sainte-Geneviève, in the centre of the Palace de Pantheon, which it was named after, and that is, he buried it underneath that because it was constructed in 1758, but it's underneath that. Okay. I don't know what was there before, but whatever it was, he obviously felt that there was some kind of basement or something there, and he hid it in that, and then they built this pantheon over the top. Okay? That's where we've got to go to. So this is how we're going to do it. Listen, it's fine. Okay, I've worked out a foolproof plan of how to pull this off, okay? You just gotta trust me and relax. I'm not gonna look at my phone anymore, I'm gonna be talking directly to you, okay? I need you to trust me. We've got this. Think of all the money. Okay, you missed out on the British one because I couldn't get you on the phone. Yeah. I know it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was excited. It's not my fault you don't answer your phone at 4 o'clock in the morning, is it? That's on you. Anyway, you're going to get the money from the next one. There's obviously a slight complication and it's buried under a very important building. I appreciate that. I understand that. Okay, I realise the gravity of the situation, but I think there's a way we can do this. Okay, so I've got two options. One, obviously after we arrive we're going to get a hotel. We're going to chill out, we're going to have a little walk around the area, get an early night. The next day we're going to have a look at this whole thing in daylight, really assess it properly, okay? Because everything looks different in the daylight or the night time, whatever. Vice versa, it all looks different, doesn't it? A few options. We can either pay off one of the guards to try and let us in. Okay, I think this thing's going to be wrapped up in some cloth in like a metal box, and it's going to be hidden somewhere in the basement. Okay. Or, oh, I know it's there. I know it's there. I'll explain why in a minute. Because you're not going to believe me. Okay, no one's going to believe this. That's why I'm going to explain it in a minute. Just gotta trust me. Trust me. Okay. Right, so, listen. Have a look around. One of the options is we can pay off a guard. Okay, but if the guard isn't having it, then we've blown the whole thing. And, you know, that's tricky, because then it's like, oh, and what if the guard betrays us and goes and gets the necklace for himself? No, that's not an option. Too risky. So, another option is that we dress up as guards ourselves, okay? And we literally just roll in there, and we're like, hey, we're the new guys, how you doing? Then we're like, hey, you can go home early if you want, we got this, buddy. And he's going to be like, oh, that's great, I'm so pleased, I can't wait to get out of here. And we're like, you're welcome, no, don't mention it, you know, that's what friends are for, even though we've just met, whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's an option. Obviously, one of the problems with that is that, you know, the guard might turn around and be like, you know, proper serious about his job, and he could be like, hey, I wasn't told about this, who are you, what? Next thing we're in a scuffle, and we have to run out there, maybe even tie the guard up, and then we've crossed a line, you know. I don't want to cross a line from stealing something that someone doesn't even know is there to tying up security guards. You know, I feel like that's the kind of thing you might do, because sometimes you can be reckless. But I appreciate your sense of adventure, that's why I'm inviting you. Okay, sometimes you can be reckless, but you're also very brave, and that's going to be necessary sometimes, because some of these places have guard dogs, and I will need your bravery. Now, together, okay? I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not going to be willing to do, potentially myself, okay? Hypothetically. Alright. Now, the third option, this is serious, okay? The third option is we get scuba gear and we go in the river and we basically go down through a tunnel that's underwater and we swim into the bottom of the basement through this tunnel. That is an option as well. Well, it's probably the most discreet option. It's just going to be a little bit more technical, having to, organise the scuba diving equipment. Have you got any experience with scuba dive? I haven't, no, either. So we might have to take lessons, I'm thinking, or we just wing it. But if it goes wrong, who'd have thought that, stealing 500-year-old treasure from a really important building in Paris would be so difficult. The British one was so much easier. It was in a ruin. It was in a ruined castle that anyone can walk around. It doesn't have any security or anything. You just literally walk in there. Half the place is fallen down. And it was there. It was hidden under a slab. A little small slab. I was able to lift it with a crowbar. You see, the map has clues on it. Anyone could get this stuff. Well, anyone could have got that if they had the map. The map's the key, obviously, as it is in most cases when it comes to treasure hunting. But this obviously is the more difficult side of the map. The fact they built a massive building on top of where it's supposed to be is obviously tricky. Another option, we could pose as council fire safety officers, okay? We go in with a clipboard and a stern look on our face and we say we're here for a random check to check out fire safety in the building, okay? Make sure it's up to standard. Now, I don't think there should be anything too valuable in the basement, so hopefully he'll let us go down there on our own. It's not actually in the basement of this building, it's underneath the basement. You see what I'm saying? They built it on top. It's like really deep down. The map says it was like an old storeroom or something like that. So, yeah, we're going to have to try and find a door. But it's in there. It is in there. And it's big bucks, this one, 7 million. Yeah, now I've got your attention, haven't I? I'm your travelling friend. Okay, you need to stick with me. I'm gonna make you rich. Anyway, if this goes well, you're up for travelling around the world, getting the rest of the stuff, yeah. I promise you it's gonna be worth it. Absolutely promise you. And I'm gonna fund the trip. I'm gonna pay for it all. You don't have to pay me anything. There's plenty of money to be going around, so. Anyway, maybe if we both have a little bit of a think about this tonight, and if we meet again in the morning just before we head off to London, we can discuss any ideas we may have had in the night. Okay? And on the train we can continue to brainstorm as well. It's not like it's a bank or something, I think we're going to be good. Just need to be able to convince them to let us walk around. exterminators. We could say we're exterminators, and there's a problem with potentially with woodworm. I'm not keen on the diving idea. It freaks me out. There's too much that could go wrong. I think it's tempting to avoid the security guard that way, but if something goes wrong in a tunnel, no thank you. Listen, go and get some sleep, and I'll talk about this more in the morning. I'm glad you're interested. I know this is going to be good. It's going to be an adventure. Alright, I'll see you in the morning.